Have you ever stood in awe of the Statue of Liberty? That colossal green goddess watching over New York Harbor. We all know her as a symbol of freedom, a gift from France. But what if I told you the most incredible part of Lady Liberty is unteat what you see on the outside, but what's hidden deep within, and the mastermind behind it wasn't a sculptor, but an engineer, the very same one who would later give Paris its iconic tower, Gustave Eiffel. Before the Eiffel Tower pierced the Parisian sky, Gustave Eiffel took on a project that would test the very limits of engineering. The sculptor, Frederick August Bartholdi, had a grand vision, a gigantic copper statue, but he had a huge problem. How do you make a 151-foot tall, 225-ton metal shell stand up to the fierce winds of the Atlantic? Bartholdi's initial idea was to fill it with sand. Can you imagine? It would have been an immovable, ridiculously heavy lump of metal, probably collapsing under its own weight. It was a disaster waiting to happen. This is where Eiffel stepped in and changed everything. He looked at Bartholdi's beautiful but fragile copper skin and saw a challenge. His solution was pure genius, and it came from his experience building something else entirely: railway bridges. Eiffel realized the statue needed a skeleton, a strong, flexible core that could support the massive copper shell without being rigid. So, what did he design? He created a massive iron pylon, essentially a miniature Eiffel Tower, right in the heart of the statue. This central spine, standing over 96 feet tall, is the true backbone of Lady Liberty. But the real magic is how the copper skin connects to this skeleton. Eiffel knew that metal expands and contracts with temperature changes. If he bolted the copper directly to the iron frame, the stress would tear the statue apart. His solution was a system of over 1,500 flexible iron bars, what we call armature bars. Think of them like the small bones in your hand connecting to your arm. Each copper plate is attached to one of these bars, which then connects to the central pylon. This created a kind of springy, flexible connection. It allows the copper skin to breathe, to expand on hot days and contract on cold nights. More importantly, it allows the entire structure to sway. That's right, the Statue of Liberty sways in a 50-mile-per-hour wind. The torch can move back and forth by up to 6 inches. The whole statue flexes and moves, absorbing the force of the wind instead of fighting against it. It's a principle called curtain wall construction. We see it in modern skyscrapers all the time, where the outer glass skin is just a facade hanging off an internal steel frame. But Eiffel was doing this in the 1880s. It was revolutionary. He essentially built one of the world's first curtain wall structures, hidden inside a neoclassical sculpture. And the story gets even more interesting when you consider the materials. Eiffel had to connect a copper exterior to an iron interior. If you know a little chemistry, you know that when two different metals like copper and iron touch, especially in a damp, salty environment like New York Harbor, a process called galvanic corrosion occurs. The iron would basically sacrifice itself to the copper, rusting away at an incredible speed. The entire statue would have disintegrated within decades. Eiffel was well aware of this. To prevent this catastrophic failure, he originally insulated the two metals from each other. He used asbestos cloth soaked in shellac to separate the copper skin from the iron armature bars. This acted as a barrier, stopping the electrical current that causes corrosion. Now, of course, we know the dangers of asbestos. During the statue's major restoration in the 1980s, every single one of those asbestos-soaked pads was carefully replaced with modern Teflon insulators. But for its time, Eiffel's solution was cutting edge and showed his deep understanding of material science. So, when the statue arrived in New York in 1885, it was in 350 pieces, packed into 214 crates. It was a giant puzzle, but thanks to Eiffel's brilliant design, it was a puzzle with a clear set of instructions. The iron skeleton was assembled first on Liberty Island, looking like a strange, abstract tower. Then, piece by piece, the copper skin was hung onto the frame, like dressing a giant. The final rivet was driven in 1886, and a masterpiece of art and engineering was complete. The craziest part is that for decades, most people had no idea about Eiffel's contribution. Bartholdi, the sculptor, got most of the credit. Eiffel was busy with his next big project in Paris, and his name became synonymous with his tower, not the statue. It wasn't until much later that historians and engineers fully appreciated the silent, invisible genius holding Lady Liberty together. Without Eiffel's internal structure, she would be a crumpled heap of copper. His design is the reason she has gracefully weathered over a century of storms, temperature swings, and the relentless passage of time. So, the next time you see a picture of the Statue of Liberty, or if you're lucky enough to visit her in person, remember what's inside. Look past the majestic exterior and picture that incredible iron skeleton, the flexible bars and the clever insulation that make it all possible. You're not just looking at a symbol of freedom, you're looking at a hidden marvel of 19th century engineering. A testament to Gustave Eiffel, the man who gave the statue her strength, her flexibility, and her endurance. He built a tower inside a goddess, ensuring she would stand tall for generations to come. Thanks for watching. If you found this hidden history as fascinating as I do, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about the unseen engineering that shapes our world. See you in the next one.